Israeli armoured vehicles are continuing to pour into Gaza as their defence forces begin to take over the strip piece by piece.
Israel claims to have killed dozens of militants in direct clashes with Hamas. This is in northern Gaza. The military says the Hamas fighters were killed leaving a tunnel near the Erez crossing, which should link Gaza to Israel before the conflict broke out.
Well, the Palestinian Red Crescent say that Israel's asked them to immediately evacuate the Al-Quds hospital, but they're unable to do so. Israel say that one of Hamas's key operating centres lies directly beneath it in their network of tunnels.
Well, so far, 38 trucks carrying supplies have been allowed to enter Gaza from Egypt just a day after hundreds raided a United Nations depot to take rations.
And in a surprise tweet from the Rafah crossing in Egypt, International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan warned of the dire situation in Gaza and said he hoped to visit Gaza and Israel to investigate possible war crimes.
We are independently looking at the situation in Palestine. We are looking at the events in Israel and the allegations that Palestinian nationals have also committed crimes. We need cooperation, we need assistance, but we're going to have the determination, the stamina and the professionalism to make sure we separate allegation from fact.
Reports also suggesting that Hamas is blocking the exit of foreign nationals in order to extract concessions from Israel and allies.
Well, the fighting might be confined to the Holy Land, but the problems are not. This new footage from Makhachkala Airport in the Dagestani Republic of Russia shows a crowd storming the terminal, seeking people who are arriving from Tel Aviv. And
scary pictures there.
Anti-Semitic behaviour there.
So they are looking for Jewish people there because they've aligned themselves with Iran in this whole conflict. How absolutely frightening is that?
60 arrests following on from that.
Well, security forces deployed there and they brought those 60 arrests to bring the situation under control. Israel responded by urging Russia, and this is a quote, to protect all its citizens and all Jews.
Well, let's speak to our security editor, Mark White, who is in Tel Aviv. Good morning to you, Mark. And all of this a reminder of just how important it is to get this situation under control, because the fear of spread, of escalation into a wider conflict.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's a great deal of concern about that incident that unfolded in Dagestan. It wasn't just the fact that this mob rampaged through the airport. They actually got airside and surrounded that aircraft. The Israelis incidentally said that although that flight had come from Tel Aviv, there were no Israeli nationals on the flight, according to the Israelis, but very alarming just the same. And also outside the airport, the reports that this mob was stopping vehicles leaving the airport, demanding to see identification documents so they could determine whether people were from Israel or not. As you mentioned in your introduction, some 60 people arrested. The Dagestan authorities say that they have identified 150 people who were involved in this unrest last night.
And Mark, we're hearing this morning that the US President Joe Biden's security advisor has suggested that Hamas is preventing Brits and other foreign nationals from leaving the Strip. I know that this is something that yesterday Camilla Tominey was also pressing Michelle Donnellan about, and that is how exactly we get British nationals out of there. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, the biggest impediment to British or any other nationalities getting out is the fact that the Rafah crossing into Egypt is not open to allow people to leave Gaza. But it wouldn't surprise me if Hamas is preventing British nationals, other foreign nationals or dual nationals from leaving. We know there are widespread reports that Hamas has stopped many of its citizens in the north of Gaza from heading down south as per the orders of the Israeli military so that they can continue with this ground offensive, and hundreds of thousands of people still remain in the north of Gaza, making it so much more difficult for the Israelis to avoid more civilian casualties, because they say that Hamas are cynically basically putting their terrorist infrastructure, their rocket launchers and the like, in and amongst civilian areas, sensitive sites. They said that yesterday they had struck a university in the north of Gaza where there was Hamas infrastructure, another building that they attacked and destroyed with apparently 20 Hamas terrorists inside that building, using that as opposed to launch attacks on the Israeli ground forces as they enter into northern Gaza.
OK, Mark, thank you very much with your updates this morning. I know we'll be speaking to you throughout the course of the programme.